The Anglo-Norman Period in English Literature. Greetings, literature enthusiasts. In the series of History of English Literature, we discussed the Anglo-Saxon age in the previous video. Today, we embark on a fascinating exploration of the Anglo-Norman period in English literature. This era, characterized by the influence of Norman conquerors on English language and culture, gave rise to a unique blend of literary works. Join us as we delve into the key aspects and notable writers of this captivating period. So, let's dive right in. Historical background of Anglo-Norman period. The Anglo-Norman period refers to the time from the Norman conquest of England in 1066 to the 14th century. It all began with the famous Battle of Hastings, where William, Duke of Normandy, defeated King Harold II of England. This decisive battle marked the beginning of Norman rule in England, bringing about a profound impact on society, language, and literature. The Normans, hailing from the region of Normandy in France, brought with them a distinct culture, language, and feudal system. The Normans introduced castles, fortifications, and a centralized system of governance, establishing themselves as the ruling elite. The feudal system, with its hierarchical structure and land ownership, shaped the social and political landscape of the Anglo-Norman period. The Church played a vital role during the Anglo-Norman period. Latin, the language of the Church, became the language of education, religion, and literature. Monastic centers, such as Canterbury and Durham, became centers of learning and cultural production. The influence of the Church on society and literature during this period cannot be overstated. One of the most significant legacies of the Anglo-Norman period is the compilation of the Domesday Book. Commissioned by William the Conqueror, this extensive survey documented the landholdings, resources, and population of England, providing valuable insights into the social and economic structure of the time. Additionally, the Normans introduced their distinct architectural style, characterized by Romanesque features seen in the construction of cathedrals, castles, and monastic buildings. The Anglo-Norman period was a period of cultural fusion. While the Normans brought their own language and traditions, they also assimilated elements of Anglo-Saxon culture. This blending of cultures resulted in a rich tapestry of influences in literature, art, and societal practices. It was during this time that Old English transformed into Middle English, as Norman French and Anglo-Saxon merged to form a new linguistic identity. One of the lasting contributions of the Anglo-Norman period is the development of the English legal system. The Normans introduced a centralized legal structure, which laid the foundation for the common law tradition. Notably, the signing of the Magna Carta in 1215 during the reign of King John marked a significant milestone in English history, asserting the rights and liberties of the people and establishing the principle of the rule of law. The Anglo-Norman period witnessed a significant cultural exchange between England and the continent. The Crusades, a series of military campaigns undertaken by Western Christians to regain control of the Holy Land, brought about encounters with new ideas, technologies, and cultures. This exchange influenced various aspects of society, including architecture, language, literature, and the arts. Another notable development during this period was the rise of towns and the growth of trade. With the establishment of market towns and the expansion of commerce, a new urban culture emerged. The Anglo-Norman period saw the establishment of guilds, trade fairs, and the growth of merchant class, leading to increased economic prosperity and cultural exchange. The Anglo-Norman period also witnessed the rise of the Plantagenet dynasty, beginning with Henry II. Under their rule, England experienced political stability and expansion. However, tensions with France escalated, leading to the outbreak of the 100 Years' War in the 14th century. This conflict had a profound impact on English society and influenced literature, as patriotic sentiments and themes of chivalry permeated the works of the time. Towards the end of the Anglo-Norman period, England faced the devastating effects of the Black Death. The bubonic plague, which struck in the mid-14th century, resulted in widespread mortality and profound social and economic consequences. The aftermath of the Black Death marked a turning point in English history, leading to significant changes in labor relations, social structures, and cultural shifts. And that concludes our exploration of the historical background of the Anglo-Norman period. From the development of the English legal system and the signing of the Magna Carta to the impact of the Crusades, the rise of towns and trade, the Plantagenet dynasty, and the effects of the Black Death, These historical events shaped the trajectory of English history and laid the groundwork for future transformations. Social division. The Anglo-Norman period brought about a structured social order, heavily influenced by the feudal system. At the top of the hierarchy were the king and the Norman nobility, who held vast amounts of land and wielded political power. The Domesday Book, a comprehensive survey commissioned by William the Conqueror, provided valuable insights into the landholdings and resources of the ruling elite, showcasing the extent of their wealth and influence. Below the nobility were the knights, who formed the backbone of the military forces and held land in exchange for their service and loyalty. Knights adhered to the chivalric code, which emphasized bravery, loyalty, and honor. They played a crucial role in maintaining order and protecting the realm, embodying the ideals of knighthood and the concept of noble service. The church occupied a significant position in society during the Anglo-Norman period. The clergy, including bishops, abbots, and monks, held considerable power and wealth. Monastic life flourished, with monasteries serving as centers of religious devotion, education, and cultural production. The church played a pivotal role in shaping not only spiritual matters but also aspects of governance and the legal system. As trade and urbanization increased, a new class emerged: merchants and craftsmen. These individuals engaged in commerce, often belonging to guilds that regulated their respective trades. Merchants became influential figures in urban centers, accumulating wealth and contributing to the growth of towns. Craftsmen, skilled in various trades, played an essential role in the production of goods and services, contributing to the economic prosperity of the period. At the base of the social hierarchy were the peasants and serfs, who made up the majority of the population. Peasants worked the land, often in the service of the nobility, and were subject to various obligations and taxes. Serfs, who were tied to the land, had limited freedom and were bound to their lord's estate. Despite their lower social status, peasants and serfs formed the backbone of the agricultural economy, ensuring the production of food and resources. As the Anglo-Norman period progressed, a significant change occurred in the social landscape with the emergence of a middle class. This class, consisting of merchants, professionals, and skilled workers, played a pivotal role in the urban centers and contributed to the growth of trade and commerce. However, social mobility was still limited, as the feudal system and the influence of the nobility remained strong. The role of women in the Anglo-Norman period varied depending on their social standing. Noblewomen held considerable influence and power, often playing important roles in political alliances and estate management. The concept of courtly love also emerged during this period, idealizing the relationship between a knight and his lady. While this concept elevated the status of women in literature, it often remained confined to the noble elite. Another intriguing aspect of the social division in the Anglo-Norman period was the presence of outlaws and social bandits. These individuals, often from lower social classes, defied the authorities and operated outside the boundaries of the law. The legendary figure of Robin Hood exemplifies this phenomenon, representing a rebel who fought against social injustice and the abuses of power. Religious orders, such as the monastic communities, played a crucial role in society during the Anglo-Norman period. These orders, both male and female, provided spiritual guidance, education, and charitable services. They also accumulated wealth and land, exerting significant influence on the social, economic, and cultural fabric of the time. The social divisions of the Anglo-Norman period had a profound impact on literature and storytelling. The literature of the time often reflected and reinforced social hierarchies, with works depicting the lives and ideals of the nobility and knights. However, glimpses of social criticism and the struggles of lower-class individuals can be found in popular ballads and folk tales. Characteristics of Anglo-Norman literature. One of the notable characteristics of Anglo-Norman literature is its association with manuscripts and illuminated texts. During this period, scribes and illuminators produced exquisite manuscripts adorned with intricate artwork and decorative elements. These manuscripts not only preserved literary works but also showcased the artistic talents and cultural influences of the time. Courtly love and romance were prominent themes in Anglo-Norman literature. Inspired by the ideals of chivalry, knights, and noble women, tales of courtly love portrayed idealized relationships characterized by admiration, devotion, and often unrequited longing. The stories depicted the complexities of love, honor, and the pursuit of unattainable ideals. Epic poetry and historical chronicles were also significant genres within Anglo-Norman literature. Epic poems, such as the Chanson de Roland, celebrated heroic deeds and epic battles, drawing inspiration from medieval legends and historical events. Historical chronicles, like the Anglo-Norman Chronicle, provided accounts of historical events and the lives of rulers, preserving important records of the time. Religious and moral themes played a vital role in Anglo-Norman literature. The influence of the church and the spiritual beliefs of the time are evident in many literary works. Religious texts, hagiographies, and moralistic writings provided guidance on ethical behavior and offered spiritual insights to the readers. These works often conveyed moral lessons and encouraged virtuous living. Anglo-Norman literature showcased a unique blend of languages and cultures. The Norman conquerors brought their own language, Old French, which intertwined with the English language, resulting in a bilingual literary tradition. This linguistic fusion gave birth to a rich and diverse literary landscape, with texts often containing elements of both languages, reflecting the cultural exchange and linguistic